Well, California is so strapped, it is going back in time to whack companies with a tax. This is true. That's like your car dealer charging you another $5,000 now for a car you bought 5 years ago, or your bank hitting you for an extra 10 grand now for a house you already paid for. California's kind of doing that, but the small businesses, it's really about getting rid of a tax break and asking businesses not only to pay it for today, but also for the last 5 years. Tax expert Maddie Duttler and California small business owner Craig Huey on whether this is retroactive and whether it's the kind of thing that catches on. Maddie, it clearly is retroactive. The question is it going to catch on?
Well, two things to point out here, Neil. One is that this wasn't any kind of malfeasance on small business owners' part, right? This was just coherent tax law.
I could see if they hadn't paid their taxes, there was an amnesty period.
Right. Right, but this was just a court ruling that overturned this tax credit that was in the law. But instead of just moving forward now with that new law in place, the California state government decided to go back and try and reach and grab these taxes from business owners who had no idea that they would even have this liability. So that's the first problem. The second problem is you're absolutely right. Is this the new trend in state taxes? Are we going to be seeing these cash-strapped states like California? Maybe New York will pick up on this. Other states that have big spending problems, are they going to try and not only bleed taxpayers in that fiscal year, but from before that as well? It's a huge concern.
Craig, it's a concern, period, right? I mean, because if other governments get a cue from this, watch out.
Well, California is a trendsetter, Neil.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, as a small business, as a small business owner, my other friends who are small business owners, we've been hit with $500,000 to over $100,000 in the fourth quarter of last year by a retroactive tax. You know, that's jobs, that's investment, that's marketing money. It's a downer on Christmas is what it was. And now we have this new one that the bureaucrats at the Franchise Tax Board are making a decision. It's politicians that are out of control, and California is the worst. You know, we've got the highest tax state, we got the highest sales tax state. We've got the
but what are you whining about? You got a beautiful state. I mean, it's beautiful views. And all.
Great weather.
Quit whining about. But you know what I'm worried about? And I'm no lawyer, but I've watched enough Perry Mason episodes to qualify as one. That if this is even legal, I mean, how can you sort of go back in time? I could see for malfeasance and all, but this is just because, you know, a government body feels like it. And that's what I look at, and I see that, Maddie, and say, there's no way.
Well, the really interesting thing here, too, right, is it's not the first time California has done this. Both Governor Schwarzenegger and Governor Brown have actually signed into law retroactive tax hikes, and that's how we arrived at California having the highest top rate in the country. So I'm actually kind of surprised you could even find a business owner who's left in California. They're fleeing by the millions because of this onerous tax burden, and this only complicates things more. It's one thing to head into your fiscal year planning knowing what your tax levy is going to be. It's a whole other thing to go into the year and have absolutely no idea where you're going to end when tax season comes around.
That's a brilliant point, because if I'm a businessman or woman, Craig, I'm looking at this and saying, your commitment to me, California, or whoever concocts this, isn't worth what the piece of paper it's on, because you're just going to break that promise.
Well, you know, we have a supermajority here in California of liberal Democrats. We have power-hungry bureaucrats all wanting more money. And as a business owner, we don't know how to operate. We have this cloud over our head. We don't know what our tax liability will be. In the past, we could at least kind of anticipate it. Now we worry, is there going to be a surprise? So this is unethical, it's immoral, it's the wrong way of trying to create jobs and create a business that's going to grow. And that's why 5.5 companies every single week leave California.
Wow. Guys, thank you both very much. We'll see, but whoa. Dangerous precedent. Yeah. Meanwhile, Democrats playing the baby card, saying that the GOP budget is a crying shame.